All right, everyone. So today what I want to talk about in this little video is things that I am changing up for 2024. And no, I am not considering these New Year's goals. I think those are garbage to do. Most people fail at them. Usually they fail even before mid-January. This has nothing to do with, I want to lose 10 pounds by blah, 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 starting on January 1st. No, it has nothing to do with that. These are things that I personally am going to be doing in my life because I realize where I'm at isn't getting me any further of here's where I want to go. And let's dive into this conversation because I want to hear what you guys are thinking, how you're feeling, where you're at in the world, and what your life is doing for you, or what is it not doing for you. Okay, so let's get into this and have a little conversation. And I have some, I'm going to get up on my couch here, my cozy couch that I never sit in. I'm going to have some root beer in a coffee cup, yes. Now, I know this isn't the best for you, but it's the A&W Zero Sugar root beer. Just when I want a treat because I don't eat sugar at all anymore. I like to have something just a little bit fun. So there you go. So what am I going to change for 2024? Well, first of all, this is going to be a no-buy year for me. I have never done one of these before, and I think it's about damn time I started. So this is going to be a no-buy year for me in terms of fashion or anything home-related. I have been going through and cleaning out a lot of stuff in my home. Now, I do work from home. I've worked from home for 11 years. I do like to have a comfortable, cozy home environment because I spend so much time here. I've got that nailed. I've got that down pat. I don't need anything else. I don't need another picture for the wall. I don't need another piece of furniture. I sure as hell don't need anything else in my wardrobe. I have a complete 365 day a year, what I call a capsule wardrobe. Everything is interchangeable. I've got probably 10 sprinkle pieces I can throw in there for something fun and something jazzy. And that just gives me a little bit of edge to my outfits. But I've got stuff for spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I don't need another pair of boots. I don't need another sweater. Now, granted, all of that stuff that I do have, 90% of that is entirely thrifted or from vintage shops or whatever. And I'm not saying anybody else has to do that stuff. If you want to go buy retail and blow your next paycheck, hey, you go ahead and you do that. Everybody is an individual here. They can do whatever they want. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're not going to tell me what to do. Okay. So when I say that I don't need to buy any fashion, that's what I mean. I don't need any undergarments. I don't need any outerwear. I don't need another pair of gloves for winter. I don't need any of that stuff. And I need to just go through and rotate things in my closet more so than what I've been doing. And I've actually been doing that, and it's been so much fun. So that's one thing that I'm not going to do for 2024 is I am going on a no-buy year for fashion. And then the no-buy year for home stuff, and that includes anything for the kitchen. You know, I don't need any utensils. I don't need cookware. I don't need bakeware. I don't need any of that junk. I've got too much of it already. So I've been giving tons. I mean, we're talking carload and carload and carload going down to the thrift store in town. Some of the stuff, fashion stuff I've sold on Poshmark. And then I just put that money into my investments. So that's one thing I'm going to do, change up for 2024. The next thing is going to be, I'm going to be taking more of my money in my savings and moving it into some investments because I'm getting better returns on my investments than I am on my money just sitting in a savings account, even though it's a really good savings account. It's a SoFi. It's, I think, at 4.6%, which is really good. But I'm getting more money off of my investments. And I do a lot of ETF dividend stuff. And I keep reinvesting all of those dividends too. And I'm seeing that grow a lot more. So I'm going to kind of shuffle some of that stuff around as well. The next thing I'm going to do for 2024 is I'm going to put this house up on the market and sell it. Because I have come to the realization that I don't want to deal with it anymore. I feel like I'm tied down. So if I wanted to, let's say, for example, I just wanted to take my cats and we decided we wanted to live, I don't know, Uruguay or Argentina. We want to go down there for 3 months or, whatever. Some place where they're not going to quarantine my cats. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Anyways, if I wanted to do that, somebody has to come and take care of this house. I can't just leave it sit here with nobody around for that long. I don't want to rent it out. I don't want the headache because somebody else would have to manage that. I just want to wash my hands of it. This is the second house I've owned. Some people love owning a home. That's fantastic. I mean, I didn't buy my first home until my late 40s. So it's not like, I'm going to pay off the mortgage that fast. And I'm not going to do that anyways. Could I do that? Yes. I'm not going to do that. I just want out from underneath it and, not have to have the electrician come out when I need something done or the plumber come out when something goes wrong. I don't want that responsibility anymore. And I just want to free myself from that. And this is just me personally. So these are just things that I'm going to do for 2024. And it's because I am past midlife, right? I'm going to be 55 next year. And I'm working a 9-to-5 job that I've been doing for 11 years now, and I'm burned out on it. I'm done with it. I don't want to do it anymore. And personally, I'm sick and tired of making somebody else, money. I'm making their dream come true. I'm not making my dream come true. I'm not turning into a millionaire working at this job. I'm making a pretty good wage, but what else can I buy? I already have everything I need. I have food. I have shelter. Now, I sell my house. What am I going to do? Well, I haven't decided that yet. I might RV for a little while just for fun. And then decide, where I want to go out of country and see some other parts of the world, because there's a huge world out there. And if you never leave your backyard, how in the hell are you going to know what else is out there? Get the hell out of this matrix, right? Stop running in that maze and listening to what everybody else is telling you to do, right? Buy this, buy that. Well, you need to, go to school and then go to college and then get a good job and then work until you're too fucking old to do anything else and then retire. And hopefully you'll have enough money to live off of at that point. That's just bullshit. And I've always thought it was bullshit, but I never really thought about how the hell could I get out of this? I've just ran with the rest of the sheep running around in this world, and listening to people. Well, just be grateful you've got a job. Do you have any idea how many jobs there are available in this country right now? Nobody wants to work. That's the problem. Or they make you jump through 80 hoops just to get a first interview. And I don't know what these companies are thinking, who the hell they even think they are. But people are sick and tired of it. People are sick of working. I remember when I was going to college, putting myself through college, and I worked 3 jobs. I went to college full time, and I paid back every red cent of all those student loans that I took out. And if you look back to the 70s and the 80s, now when I went to college, it was in the 90s. But if you look back to the 70s and 80s, and like right when I was out of high school, I was, working a job making like $5.50 an hour. And my rent was probably, I don't know, $350, $400 a month. And if you liken that to what it's today, it's the same. It's the same. I was barely making ends meet back then. I usually had to work more than one job just so I could keep a roof over my head and gas in my car and food in my belly. But we didn't bitch about it because that's just what it was, right? And we didn't know any other way. There wasn't social media. There wasn't the internet. There wasn't all these different places to go and see and talk and compare and analyze and all this. Now we have an influx of information. It's available at your fingertips. I would say 70% of it is bullshit lies. 30% of it might be truth, but they're trying to take that away from us as well. They don't want us knowing. They want us to just keep working in the system. Just be a slave to their system. Keep your head down and keep your mouth shut and go along with what everybody else is doing. And that's your life. And then you can wake up one day and you can be gasping for air and you're at the end, whether that's 76 years old or 96 years old. And what did you do? What do you have to show for it? Right? Oh my God, I paid off my house. Right? Oh my God, I was able to buy a Lamborghini. Well, if that's what you base life on, hey, that's great. And I've never based my life on material possessions. That's just not been me. And I've never had those goals of, oh, I want to work until I can, pay this house off, or I want to work until I can, buy this type of car or anything like that. That doesn't even make sense to me. I just want to live my life. And right now I feel like I'm being suffocated by the system and the matrix that they've got everybody in. Do I think we can actually escape the matrix at this point? Probably not. There's too much of that elite out there and the money that keeps the system going, and too many people asleep at the wheel. Everybody's on their cell phones, right? And I'm not saying everybody, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's really frustrating to me. I go to a store and there's like people that are on their cell phones running their mouth with whoever it is they're talking to, and they're not even on a private call. They've got it on speaker. And they're just going up and down the aisles of the store, running their mouth. They have no idea where they're at, what they're doing. They're not even shopping at that point. And they're completely oblivious to everybody else that's around them. And to me, it's just like, it's like zombie land, times 100. And it's really scary to think about that. And if you think that that is not the downfall of this society, I mean, I don't know what the hell you're thinking at this point, because back in the 70s and 80s, even though everything wasn't fabulous and fun and it was just perfect and oh my God, sunshine and rainbows everywhere, we had our problems. Obviously, we had other things we were dealing with, and we had the threat of, nuclear war, and we had all these other things going on. But we at least had human connection, people, okay? And the human connection was, you picked up the phone to call your friend, and their mom would usually answer, and hopefully they were home and you'd get to speak to them, and you could set up a date where you guys could, hey, let's go hang out at, the roller skating rink. It's all go roller skating with our friends or whatever. And you actually had to physically go someplace to hang out with these people. You had to have these interactions. We knew how to deal with people on a human level, okay? And it was realistic. It wasn't fake bullshit. Everything is fake nowadays. These kids grow up with their TikToks and their Instagrams and their Snapchats or whatever the hell else it is out there. And they think that seeing that kid with those $300 shoes and that $1,400 iPhone is better than them because they don't have those products. And they think that they've got to have those. Or if they don't, if they're not allowed to wear makeup at the age 14, but that girl that's on Instagram is, or whatever, then their life is just going to completely fall apart. And they just can't. People aren't even happy anymore. How many do you go to this store? I mean, I purposely will smile at people and try to strike up conversations and say hello with strangers wherever I go. And people might think I'm fucking nuts for this. I don't care at this point, okay? I just want to do that. I want to try and keep the human connection real with people. But when I go out and I look around at the people these days, and this has been going on for many years now, people aren't happy anymore. There's no joy. There's just, unless you go to a concert, then it's a different story. But then again, at the concert, everybody's on their damn cell phones. They're not even paying attention to the band that's on the stage. They've got their cell phone up and they're recording everything. They're not in the moment, right? Well, that's not me when I go to a show. I am in the moment, okay? But there was laughter, and there was pain and heartache. I'm not saying there wasn't, but people were generally happier. And if you don't believe me, go and look on YouTube to find, there's some people out there that they actually recorded on their big camcorders, back in the 80s or whatever, what it was like to go to the mall. Or, some of these malls, when they were really big back in the day, they actually had like a half an hour television show about what was going on at the mall and in that town or that city at the time. It's really cool. And I don't watch a lot of TV. I do like to watch educational stuff on YouTube, things that make me think And I came across some of these and I watched them, and it was like the coolest thing ever because I felt like I was right back there at that time. And it's interesting because if you look at who they're filming in the mall and everything, people were just genuinely happier looking. And people were in the moment. There wasn't a damn cell phone to be found because they weren't invented yet. They weren't around at the time. And it's just crazy. And God, I wish we could go back to that time because I don't know if we're ever going to come out of this unless you go live in some far off land where people just don't have cell phones. And yes, those places around the world that are like that. I don't know if I'd want to live quite, you know, in some of those areas. Most of them would be cool, except they're too damn hot for me, and I don't like hot. That's probably one of the reasons why I wouldn't live there. Otherwise, I would. But I just find it so sad that people are so disengaged and people are so, it looks like they're either sad or they're depressed or they're pissed off, just generally unhappy. And it's not just the social media and all that crap that's ruined it for everybody. It's because people are worked too damn hard. They don't have enough money to make ends meet because things are too expensive, and they don't see any end in sight. And look around you, especially in this country, people have just given up. I mean, God, you go out and people dress like slobs. They can't even get out of their pajamas to go to the store. They still got their slippers on. Some of them look like they haven't washed their hair in days. Now, I remember being, 19 years old, and I didn't have two pennies to rub together. And I still was well groomed. I dressed as best as I could. My apartment was spotless. If I had a house, I wouldn't have trashed furniture thrown out on the front yard. People just live in squalor. And I don't understand, like, why the hell nobody cares anymore. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand why. It's because they've all been MK Ultra, and if you don't think that's a thing, then that's your problem. That's fine. This is me talking, okay? But they just, it's like everybody just said, fuck it, I give up, right? It's just life. Let's just, like a zombie through it, right? Let's go along with everybody else, and let's do, let's keep working our jobs, and let's do this, and let's do that, and the other thing. And then pretty soon we're dead and we're gone, and that's it. That's the end of it, right? Wherever we go after this. And hopefully it's a better place. But for me personally, I'm just done with it. I'm done with waking up every day going, God, why am I still working at this job? I hate this job. I'm so tired of doing this. I'm tired of staring at a computer 8 hours a day and making somebody else money. And I don't need to even make this amount of money to survive, right? I have plenty around me. I can get rid of half of this and I'd still have too much. I could get rid of 3/4 of this stuff and I'd still have too much. Okay. And I'm glad I'm realizing this now. And I'm like, I got to get out of this system. I've got to do something different. Okay. So these are just my thoughts, what I've been thinking about. And I've got to break free for a while and just do my own thing. And maybe that is just working part-time online for something, transcribing or doing bookkeeping on the side, or, consulting with people. I've been looking at a lot of different stuff and putting my thoughts and my ideas down. And I mean, yeah, I would like to do something fun. I'd like to learn how to play guitar and go do that for a while and make money at it. But that's a hard gig to get into. Okay. And I'm not saying I can't do it. Do I want to learn how to play guitar before I'm dead? Yes. But right now, when I get done with work at the end of the day, my brain, because I use it so much because of what I do as an accountant and training people and working on fixing financials and everything else, I just feel like I don't have any brain power left. I could go out and run a marathon. Well, probably not. But you know what I'm saying? I have lots of physical energy left. I just don't have the mental capacity at the end of the day anymore. And I need to gain some of that freedom back because I'm trading my time for money. And what is money, right? What are you going to keep buying? Is there no end in sight? These influencers and I saw this video a while ago, and this guy was showing I don't even know how old it was, but it was like a Louis Vuitton commercial, and these women were wearing these really expensive gowns, and they were traipsing through a desert carrying their Louis Vuitton luggage. Well, who the hell actually does that in real life? Nobody. Okay? Nobody does that. I mean, I don't know what planet they're coming from, but nobody does that here. But that's all of the marketing stuff to get people to buy things. And we all know that the higher end luxury brands, they've pretty much gone down the toilet. They're how they treat their customers. I've heard, bad things from people, or even the quality of their products is not what it used to be. So why and people that have a lot of money aren't going out and buying that stuff. It's the people that are broke that are trying to pretend they're rich, trying to pretend they're somebody else by putting that stuff on the outside, right? Projecting off onto other people. Hey, I've got a lot of money. No, you don't. Okay. Even though I make really good money, I technically cannot afford to buy Louis Vuitton. All right. Or Chanel. And I am not about to go into credit card debt just so I can have a $5,000 handbag. That to me is stupid. All right. And that's just me. Okay, these are just my thoughts. I'm just rambling on here, thinking about these things. But when I am not working and I get to do my own thing, like dancing around, listening to my albums, or spending time outside, or just sitting here reading, or doing a crossword puzzle, or something like that, that's when I'm most at peace with myself. Or if I strike up a really good conversation with somebody that I just met, that to me is what's so much fun. So anyways, these are my thoughts. Give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for further videos, unscripted, unedited, loads of fun. You guys are the best. I love you. Peace be with you. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.